Hey, Chris Hobart here with Hobart Wealth here in Charlotte. Now, no doubt you get to see different headlines out there, specifically around the Fed, right? And we know the Fed is meeting again, and everyone's guessing what it means for the markets. Now, this week, there's actually two big events that could shape interest rates and inflation in the years ahead. Now, in today's Wealthologist Weekly, I want to break down what's happening, why it matters for your retirement income, and how to stay on track really without obsessing over the Fed headlines that consistently pop up. All right, let's start with the one that everybody knows about. It's the Fed's regular interest rate meeting. Now, economists expect the Fed to trim short term rates by another quarter of a percent, similar to what they've done at least the last couple of meetings. They're going to also release their outlook for the economy and inflation over the next couple of years. Now, what does that actually mean in real life? Well, over time, cash and money markets and newer CDs, they may not pay quite as much as they did at peak rates. Well, we're used to that. You see, the changes are gradual. But if you're sitting on a lot of cash, it really might be worth asking, is this money working hard enough for my retirement lifestyle? Now, the Fed, they're also hinting that future rate cuts may come a little bit more slowly. Instead, not at every single meeting, but probably a bit more staggered. They think every now and then instead of every time. So, when you earn on cash today, well, it might not stay that same rate for forever. All right. I want to talk with you, though, about something that's a little bit lesser known, an event that could matter even more in the long run. You see, there's a Senate hearing this week taking a hard look at how the Fed operates, in particular, how it pays big banks interest on the reserves that they keep at the Fed, and whether the Fed's older regional bank structures still make sense. Some proposals would scale back or change the system after years of aggressive money printing and bond buying. Now, at the same time, we could see new Fed leadership later this year, which means a fresh voice guiding how we handle interest rates and the money supply over time. Now, just so you're aware, none of this flips a switch overnight, but it is one more reason not to build a retirement plan around who's in the Fed chair right now. Now, there's another piece of this story that's also kind of easy to miss. What's happening with the money supply? Now, we've talked about this quite a bit, but after shrinking for a while, the broad money supply, it started growing again, up around 4 to 5% over the past year. Now that lines up with what we're seeing. The worst of the inflation spike, it's behind us, but prices are still creeping higher, not falling back to where they once were. Now, if that money growth continues to happen and speed up again, well, inflation could stay stubborn and take longer to get back to the Fed's 2% target rate. Now, for people that are retired or maybe people near retirement, here's the translation. Don't count on inflation going to zero, kind of like what we saw in the past, right? Don't assume today's cash yields are going to last forever. Instead, plan for a world where prices keep rising slowly and interest rates drift lower over time. And that's really why we like to stress test retirement plans for different what ifs. What if inflation stays a bit higher? What if rates come down faster? What if we get a mix of both? At the end, the goal is pretty simple. You stay on track for travel, family time, giving, and new goals, regardless of who's running the Fed. Now, the future of the Fed, it is absolutely important, no question about it. But the future of your plan, it matters a lot more. Now, if you'd like us to stress test your retirement plan against different paths for interest rates and inflation, our team is always here to help and to give you that peace of mind. All you got to do, reach out to us at Hobart Wealth, and we're going to sit down with you, run the numbers, and help you feel confident about your next chapter. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one.